Alright, welcome back to Shaving Fuzzy. I'm Fuzzy. Hi y'all on Monday night. And we're going to go out and work a overnight shift tonight. Extra shift that I had forgotten I'd signed up for. But oh well. These things happen. It's one of someone taking off and I put my name in case we couldn't find anybody else to do it. It was covered and apparently nobody else said they wanted to do it. So poof, here I am. But anyway, no big deal. It's not like it's complicated or anything. So tonight, Micromatic Monday. So we're going to break out, instead of the regular Micromatic, the original Micromatic, we're going to break out the Micromatic Clog Pruf. Now remember, if you just say Micromatic, that's the original. You don't have to say open comb because the original Micromatic is the open comb. So, you know, and then you have the Clog Pruf. Then you have the flying wing or the guiding eye, depending on which one you have. So we're going to turn this a little bit into doing things. Sometimes you do something just because you can and you want to. A lot of times that's okay. Now sometimes it's kind of, you know, iffy-ish doing stuff. But anyway, so what I have here, I do this every once in a while just to remind people that it works. I've got the injector blade that came out of the A because it's easy to take blades in and out of those. And we're going to put it right here in the old Clog Pruf, and we're going to use an injector blade in the Micromatic. And it sits there, something like that, with, I don't want it to fall out, but anyway, with no issues. And because the top, when the cap comes down, twists it closed, right? So it comes down and it actually puts pressure on it and it slides. And then you look at it and make sure that everything lines up okay. Should look something along those lines right there. And you can use an injector blade in a Micromatic. Now, why do that? Because you can. There's really no other reason I can find. Doesn't shave any better. You know, some people are saying that the injector blades last longer. Possible. Okay, maybe that's a reason if you want to use that for a reason. If you're one of these people that have to have a reason for everything. I don't know. I can't say so much about that because a lot of times I like to have a reason for things. I don't just like being, you know, stuck out there. So we're going to use the Be Pure soap from Dollar Tree. We're going to use Gillette Series, Cool Wave, some more modern stuff. I actually like this one. I should use it more than I do. It's from Walmart. I know, Walmart. So anyway, I think I mentioned I've been going to one of the local Walmarts every once in a while when I absolutely have to. And they have assisted checkout lanes open at that store, more than I've found at most stores. And it could be, I read an article the other day that Walmart was adjusting something, I don't remember the whole article, the compensation package, the bonus packages, I understand, for managers. And I think it's more based on sales maybe. So maybe they're keeping more of those lanes open so that folks go through and, you know, folks that don't want to use, but I don't know. That doesn't really make any sense because if they cared about folks, they'd do it anyway. But this particular store has been having more of the what they're calling assisted checkout. Now to me that's a silly name because it should be, if you're buying groceries, the people that work in the store should check them out for you. It just seems to me that would cut down on a lot of theft. I know Walmart loss prevention people, and by and large, I don't know if you could say, well, they can watch them front ends and keep them people from stealing on that their self-checkout. I don't know if you can do that. It's such a wide open area, and there's so many people in there at once, and you know, ain't but so much you can do. I'm sure they lose a lot, but to them, you know, the loss is worth it, I guess. They're still making billions of dollars a year, or hundreds of millions, or whatever it is they make in profits. And even with what they lose, they're still doing that. So I guess it doesn't really matter to them. Maybe that's what it boils down to. They do some things. They hire people. They stop a few people here, there, and yonder. A buddy of mine was working loss prevention for him, and he actually stopped a guy that was trying to walk out of the store with a bunch of stuff, and he made the guy drop the stuff, and the guy was acting out. And the management told him they didn't want that. They didn't want him stopping people who were going out, and people making a scene, and everybody seeing it. He quit doing loss prevention for him. I quit doing loss prevention several years ago because of that. A couple of years ago, I don't remember how long ago it was now, but pretty much that same thing. You actually do it, and and I understand the run-of-the-mill store employee. You don't want them stopping people shoplifting. There's a safety thing there. I get it, but your loss prevention people, that's kind of what we're there for. And I don't understand the whole not even letting your loss prevention people try to prevent loss. But I have a state certification to do my job, and if I get into a legal issue from that kind of stuff, then my state certification may be in danger, and I decided it wasn't worth that to do loss prevention as a side job. But anyway, so here we go. That right there is a Micromatic Clog Pruf. Now, like I said, this is the blade that came out of my A, so it's got a few shaves on it, but that is one thing about the injector blades. They do last. I agree. I agree. So that may be one reason for using them. But I don't think that's enough of a reason to change over and use those. Could you do this with a Schick twin blade? I imagine so. I haven't tried it. That may be something to do one day. I do have some vintage twin blades. Not sure that's really a reason I would want to use one. Now notice that the Dollar Tree soap does a fine job. I can tell you it's slick. It's not hard to make a lather with. Feels good on the face. Does it dry your face out? I don't know. I don't moisturize this. I ain't got a clue. It doesn't feel like I'm putting acid on my face. Does that help? But anyway, and it's $1.25 a cake. And it does as good a job, in my opinion, except it's a whole lot more expensive. Like I said, it does its job. Now, maybe it's the difference between getting there in a Corvette and getting there in a Cavalier. I mean, both of them get you there, right? And but anyway, I don't know if that's a good analogy or not, but to me that's kind of how it is. See there, we got a nice view. Now this was just a 1 day's growth shave. I've been shaving every day. And this was supposed to be my first of my day off after my long week, but we're going to work all our days off this long week. They extended the stuff I was talking about before out at the store. And working out at that store reminds me how much I do not like working retail. But we're not particularly out there for loss prevention. That helps. We're out there for a fairly specific issue, and that helps. But it's also a really nice store. A couple of years old. The management there keeps that store up really nice. As a matter of fact, people who come from other cities, that's out in a little place called Zachary. People who ride out from, especially from Baton Rouge store, talk about how much nicer a store it is, and they're right. It really is. One of it has to do with the neighborhood it's in. The one in Baton Rouge, the neighborhood that it's in, not the best. Not the best. And some of the folks you get coming through, they don't really, I don't know. I don't know how to. Now you notice, and someone tell me if I'm wrong, But I just, recently went back to shaving the old chin here. Had a goatee, years and years. But when I'm doing my across the grain, I've noticed that I don't really do. I go across the grain kind of under here, but when I get up over the chin and under the bottom lip and all, it's kind of the same thing every time. Now, it does a really good job. I mean, it's getting everything. But I think that's okay. It does a good job. We'll go axle across the grain, down here like we're supposed to. And what we ended up with these days is really, really high quality, really high quality DNS. Dang nice shades. Telling you. They're there. And that's what we shoot for around here. I'm not going for BBS. BBS is the best. Sorry, just the best. Now, does that mean you can't get it? Nope. Not what I mean. There's people do it. They take the extra time. They go against the grain. They sit there and do this and they do that. And that's their big thing in life and their claim to fame. And that's perfectly fine. Me, I go through, I do the extra work, and in 2 hours, the shave still feels like, starting to come back sandpaper. And it doesn't do me any good. I see no sense in going and risking the extra irritation or risking getting irritation, because I hardly ever get any irritation. Just to get that extra little bit that nobody's going to notice except you. Oh, but my wife comes up and she feels my face and she wants to feel this and she wants to feel that. Well, then you might want to sit her down and have a talk about realistic expectations, sweetie. I'm just saying. Yeah. Maybe that's why I'm 17 years happily divorced. I don't know. I was talking about something the other day and I made a comment about something and one of the ladies pointed something out and I said, yeah, well, maybe that's why I'm 17 years happy divorced. They got the biggest kick out of that. They got the biggest kick out of that. I was at work, so I couldn't really express my opinion on what was being said, especially being as how I'm a supervisor and that's one of my folks that work with me. You got to be careful how you word things and what you say. And what I have found out over the years is that you got to be careful who you're around, not just who you're talking to. Because you can say stuff and the person you're talking to thinks it's absolutely hilarious and they can agree with you and they cannot be offended at all, but somebody that overhears the conversation, somebody that's not even in the conversation, somebody you don't even realize is listening to the conversation, can get your, battleship torpedoed. More like your destroyer torpedoed, because, battleships torpedo and didn't always do a whole lot of good. But anyway. Look at that. That is a wonderful, 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 classy, high dollar shave right there. And that's really close, really, really, really close to BBS without even really trying for it. Good technique, good equipment. Or good enough equipment that does the job it's supposed to. It doesn't always have to be luxurious. And you can get that Clog Pruf today with an injector blade in it. So check this out. I was looking at something. This is a modern injector blade, and this is the injector blade that came out of my A when I got it. So I don't know how old it is actually, but it's definitely a little bit different from the ones we have today. But anyway, and just as a little teaser, next shave, and maybe I'll do it on video. The gold plated, covered, filled, I don't know what you call it. But anyway, G3. So that's going to be coming up at some point. We're going to put that blade right up there. It could go back into A, it could go into the B, because both of those I load by hand, or it could conceivably be used in a Micromatic again. Who knows? We're going to put a little bit of the Gillette Series Cool Wave. So like I was saying before I got on the Walmart thing, one of the few of the modern aftershaves that I wear, I kind of like it. It's not really overdone, and it reminds me of some of the older stuff. Walmart also sells Adidas. Is it Pulse? Don't quote me on that one. I'd have to look it up. But they sell one by Adidas. I think it's called Pulse. And I think that one also is pretty good. So look at that. There we go. But anyway, we're going to finish getting ready and walk the dogs. It's supposed to start raining tonight by the time I get to work. So I'm going to try to get the dogs walked before the rain comes around. And we'll be headed off to work to do that thing that we do. So we can pay our taxes and keep the government going. Don't get me started. All right, well, look, y'all have a good one. Just a quick shout out to my sister. She posted last night. She's starting to get, I think she had some young chickens that are starting to lay. So she's starting to get some chickens, and my brother are starting to get some eggs from her chickens, and my brother's got some young chickens he's waiting to start laying. So, hey to brother and sister and brother-in-law, sister-in-law. Miss Susie, hadn't said hey in a while to you. How you doing? Hope everything's good over your way. And we'll be thinking about y'all. Always a good thing. We're gonna call it there. Y'all have a good one. I know I need to say hello to everybody I know. Deal with it. Don't feel bad. It's just that way sometimes. I don't remember everybody. I'm sorry. Whoever you are, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, happy shades to you.